Welcome to East by West Farms. Here we grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Today I'm going to talk about how to make your own potting mix. There are three reasons that you want to make your own potting mix. One, of course, is money. And reason two is you can make sure that there's no harmful chemicals in the potting mix. And the number three is you can reduce the waste, especially plastic waste. Here in the farm, we're trying to use whatever we have in the farm, and that, of course, save you money. That's the first reason. The second reason, when you buy potting soil mix from other places, you never know what they put in there. I would rather to make my own mix so I know that there's no harmful chemicals in there. The third reason is waste. When you buy potting soil or potting mix from a store, it's usually packaged in plastic. And if you think the transportation and all that, it's actually associated with quite some waste. When we make it in the farm, we essentially have no waste at all. All the potting mix essentially have three ingredients. One, the growing medium. Second, a medium for contain moisture. And then a third, a medium to provide drainage. Here I have two boxes of potting mix that have a different mixture, but they all have the three ingredients. One is provide more drainage than the other. This one has less drainage. The growth medium is the black Houston clay, and then I have a semi-decomposed compost. The fully decomposed compost acts as a moisture absorber to keep the soil or mixture relatively moist. And then I have the large chunk of compost that essentially provide the drainage. In this box, the growth medium actually is the clay that clay stuck at the bottom of the pond. It has large particles, so it drains better than the black Houston clay. For the moist container, I mix in the decomposed chicken litter, and mostly it's basically decomposed hay that provide the moist retention. To provide additional drainage, I also mix some eggshell, crushed eggshell in there. So this mixture have less water retention, and so you want to be able to adjust your ingredients so that some plants need more moisture and some need very well drained soil. This is what the Houston black clay look like. When it's dry, it's almost like a brick. You cannot use this to grow anything except the Texas native wheat. What you will need actually is to let it age for at least a half year to break down this and mix all the organic matter into that. Here is just some kitchen scrap and some wheat. So what I'm going to do is dig a hole. You can see that the bottom here, actually, the soil is still moist and much loose. Whatever things you can put into the compost, you put it in there. And coffee grinds, for example. I also put things that probably most of the gardener will say, no, you shouldn't compost them, like the byproduct of from a butcher, like the intestine of the chicken or the feather. These are the egg yolk that we took out when we cook. I also put it in here, so the wash water. And then I bury it back up. So I just keep adding to this pile, and eventually all these things will break down and provide the growth medium for you for the potting mix. The half decomposed compost material is this shredded ash juniper branches and the needles. This is a slow decomposing material. On the top, you still have quite a lot of particles that haven't decomposed. And this is what I want for the drainage, because these large particles will let the water pass through, so your potting mix will not be waterlogged. But if you dip lower, and you get the black part, and that is more decomposed material that act like a peat moss that will absorb water to keep the potting mix moist. So we're going to transplant this piece. I'm going to show you how well the potting mix did by taking this out of this pot. When you mix your own potting mix, you can adjust the ingredients to get the right mixture. When you transplant, pay attention to how well the potting mix did. In this case, at the bottom, I put these large particles in there because it prevents the waterlogging. It's not fully decomposed yet. And so I'm going to put at the bottom of the hole so to let it continue to decompose. The roots is doing very well for this, and the soil is very loose, almost falling apart. So that means the potting mix have the right mixture of ingredients. Since it's peas, I don't want to disturb the root too much, so I just put my whole pot in there, and then I fill the hole up with the native soil. All I need is water to get rid of the air, and then let it grow. Let's see how the potting mix did in this small tray. Look at those roots. So this definitely a good indication that the potting soil had the right mixture. And you can see that when I try to break it apart, it should be pretty easy. Dig a hole and pop it in. That's what you like to see. In this video, I showed you the 3 ingredients you need to make your own potting mix. And I also show you how to judge whether you got the right mixture for your potting mix or not. I encourage you to try it yourself because making your own potting mix will save money and be perfectly organic and reduce waste. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it down below. If you have not done so, please hit the subscribe button to follow our journey with the East by West Farms.